In this sawmill, there are two production lines. The wider logs go through this saw. The worker at the controls uses a laser to help him position and reposition each log as he runs it through the saw several times to cut it into as many 4 by 10 inch pieces as possible. An average log usually yields about 7 or 8 pieces. The narrower logs go through a different saw. This saw first cuts a board off each side, then sends what's left of the log onto another saw. The 4 by 10s on the first production line go for a second cut called the resaw. They're cut in half into 2 by 10s. The logs on the second production line end up here in what's called the Canterbull machine. It has 8 adjustable circular saws that can cut the log into various sizes of wood, anywhere from 2 by 3s to 2 by 8s, depending on the log's diameter. Both production lines feed to machines that smooth the edges and trim off any defects that can affect the strength or resistance of the wood. Then an automated sorter drops the wood into bins according to their size. Each bin then feeds the stacking machine. From here, they'll put the wood into a kiln to be dried to about 15% humidity. Then they'll grade the pieces and ship them to a lumber yard or renovation store. If you care about our environment, chances are you separate your recyclable waste from your other garbage and either take it to a depot or put it out at the curb for pickup. But have you ever wondered where it goes from there? When the truck arrives, your recyclables go through their first sorting. The worker puts paper and boxes in one receptacle, glass, plastics, and metals in another. At the sorting plant, the truck dumps each receptacle into a separate area. Then it's onto separate conveyor belts for more sorting. On the paper and boxes line, workers first remove any plastic, metal, or glass that got there by mistake. Then they sort what's left into 3 categories. First, corrugated cardboard, what brown boxes are made of. Second, newsprint. And third, mixed fiber paper such as cereal boxes, envelopes, and greeting cards. On the glass, metal, and plastics conveyor belt, workers first remove the big bulky items such as gallon-sized containers. A jumbo magnet picks up everything metal except for aluminum, which isn't magnetic. Workers then sort milk and juice cartons to one area, aluminum to another. They separate plastics into 3 categories, glass into 2, clear and colored. Once everything's been separated, each category goes into a baler, which compacts it, then binds it with wire like a giant bale of hay. Then it's off to the warehouse until they're sold to a recycler. At the recycling plant, they cut open a bale of plastics, then load everything onto the conveyor belt. The plastics pass through magnets to remove any metal that might have slipped through. Then it's into the shredder. It takes the shredder just 1 hour to shred 2 tons of plastic. All those containers are now tiny little plastic flakes. Next, cleaning by friction and water. Any remaining glass or other contaminants now sink to the bottom, while the lighter plastic flakes float to the top. The dirty water will be chemically filtered and used again. They dry the flakes by hot air, then put them into silos to be compacted. Inside the compactor, it's 160 degrees Celsius. The heat partially melts the plastic, fusing the pieces as they compact. The flakes go through the compactor's perforated inner drum, much like a pasta press, and come out looking a bit like macaroni. They're now officially recycled plastic in raw material form. Next, they're melted, pressed through a screen, then cut into pellets 1/8 of an inch long. They drop into water to cool, then go into a dryer.